to, now in a brand new pack.
Inderdaad, Johan, soos jy nou gesê het, 'n geniepsige oggend. Hoorie, dis die eerste keer dat ek daai woord hoor in Afrikaans. But as you said, Andrea is a bit of an adventurer. She's going to be taking on an epic journey all the way to Iceland. And we're very excited. I didn't know that she kind of did these things. It's so cool. Why Iceland? I mean, when we think about going on holiday, you know, Iceland is probably the furthest thing back in my mind. Iceland?
It started with my fantasy of, I love hiking, and I thought how nice it would be to hike all the exotic locations around the world. And I think Iceland is really a very interesting place. I love geology, so everything about the volcanoes and the tectonic plates and the glaciers and all of that, and it's a really beautiful environment.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about this and decided I'm going to spoil myself. I'm turning 40 in July. For my 40th birthday, I decided to do something really awesome and spectacular and special. So I'm doing a 2-week hike in Iceland.
A 2-week hike?
Yes.
That is going to be amazing, but obviously very challenging as well. Have you been doing any kind of training for this or something?
Well, I do hike, you know, where I live, near the mountains. So I love walking in the mountains. And this is not a very strenuous hike. It's a holiday. So I'm joining a hiking group, so it's a package deal and tour. So I don't have to organise anything. You just take your hiking gear and a few essential things to boost your health, of course.
Well, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's so excited about hiking. I mean, I went up Lion's Head. No, I think it was cool going up Lion's Head, very invigorating and all of that, but look, yes, let's go. But this is very nice. I like to see that.
I'm going to invite you to come for a weekend hike. In the Western Cape, I mean, there are so many destinations all across this country with the most beautiful scenery, and hiking is the best holiday you can have, really.
No, when we're thinking Iceland. We spoke to Bram Malharba the other day. He was down in the Antarctic, freezing temperatures. What kind of conditions are you going to be expecting when you're hiking Iceland?
Well, I looked at the weather forecast last night, and the temperature and rain conditions are very similar to the Cape winter. It's summer there at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be covered in snow, hopefully. I mean, things like that can happen, but it's very unlikely. And so it's summer, and it's also, they say in July, 24 hours daylight.
Wow.
Yes.
So when do you decide when to sleep? And you're like, okay, now it's time, and we sleep here.
Yeah, and they recommend those things that you can put over your eyes that you get on the plane.
Okay.
To make it dark.
But obviously very important to know what you're going to be carrying with you in your bag, because it's not like you can just walk over to the next grocery store and get stuff. So you need to have things that are going to keep up your energy levels, that are going to help you throughout these 2 weeks.
Definitely. Look, I want to enjoy my holiday, so I have to make sure that my energy is all in balance and everything. So a few essential things that I always travel with, I've got displayed here. The one is the Vital Low GI Muesli. We make them specifically in these 40-gram sachets that are convenient for travelling. And why I choose the low GI one is because it sustains my energy better.
Okay.
So that's a lovely breakfast to have, or as a snack.
Yeah.
I eat it out of the packet just like that. You know?
I carry it with me all the time as well. Like, I open it up, kind of in my mouth, and then have like some yogurt and go and then swallow.
I'll try that one too.
Yeah.
And then I always take some dried fruit with me.
Yes.
I don't know if you're very adventurous this morning, but there are these dried fruit sweets, and yes, you know, there's sugar in there, but on a hike like this, you need something that will increase your energy.
Yes.
So a bit of fruit with a bit of sugar is better than just normal sweets.
Okay, cool.
And then this is called meerbos. I don't know if you've ever tasted it.
Meerbos?
Yes.
I know suikerbos, not meerbos. What's meerbos?
Wil jy proe?
Ek sal, maar jy moet eers vir my sê wat dit is.
Meerbos is dried apricots pulp, which is preserved with salt and sugar. So I would say, to prevent you from putting a really serious face, just take a small bite and get the taste experience. But why I take this with me is very nutritious. It's rich in fibre. And it also, because it's preserved with sugar and salt, you know, when you hiking and walking and exercising, you do lose a bit of those salts and electrolytes. And apricots are very rich in potassium. You know, potassium you get in bananas. That's also
boost
popular.
of energy you need. Okay, well, I'll say this, very interesting taste. But for the health thereof, you've got to keep your energy going, then yes, definitely. What else do you have for us?
Then I take my multivitamins, and for this trip, I'm taking the Vital Gold, specifically because it's such a comprehensive multivitamin, and it's designed for times when you're under pressure. So when you're stressed or if you're very active, all those B vitamins. I take my Viral Boost, and that's specifically the one over here. is to boost your immune system. You know, you don't want to be sick when you're on holiday.
Definitely
so
not.
I've already started taking it, and especially traveling on the plane and all of that. And I don't think I'll be sleeping that much, so you need that extra support.
Yeah.
And then I also take my biofiber, just to make sure the digestive system is all,
just in functioning order.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
good luck, and
Thank
I
you.
hope you keep us up to date. I hope you'll be tweeting about it and Facebooking about it.
Look, I don't think there'll be a signal. We're actually going to cover quite a large area of the island, and there are 2 flights and a bus trip also, so that they make sure that you get to all the awesome destinations.
But I'm sure we'll see all the photos afterwards.
I'm going to
when you
take
come
lots
back.
of pictures because there's lots of daylight. So,
Well, thank you
yes.
so much, Andrea. Thank you
It's a
for sharing it with
pleasure.
us, and can't wait to have you back again when
Yes.
you are back home safely. We'll see you after the break with more on Expresso.
Vital, now in a brand new pack.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.